the last concern that the teacher raised, why can't we have climate change integrated in our curriculums? Why can't we do that? Surely, well, we can, and that's why we are here from TROP ICSU, and that's what we are doing here. So, TROP ICSU, when you say TROP ICSU, what you understand from it, it's a short form for Transdisciplinary Research-Oriented Pedagogy for Improving Climate Studies and Understanding. So it's a research-oriented pedagogy, and why is it there? To improve the awareness of climate change, inculcate the awareness of climate change primarily, and then improve the climate's understanding through a scientific lens for all the educators primarily, so that they are then able to deliver it to their own children, right? Okay, so we have already discussed, I think, this slide, that climate change is like one of the most significant issues of our time, and it is going to affect the sustainable and equitable future of all countries and all citizens. And solutions will require, the climate solutions are going to be, where are they going to come from? They're going to come from people like us, aware people who know about this issue, right? And who are the first people who are going to do it? It's educators, because educators have the power to impart knowledge to others, and that is how we are going to make population aware of this issue, and then only we can take steps towards climate change solutions. Okay, but what is the issue? Some activities here and there. So when will they have time to learn about climate change? And teachers are not trained to teach climate change. Okay, so now you're all educators and you know about this issue, but when it comes to teaching it, there might be a few doubts about it. Yeah. Okay. So what TROP ICSU provides basically is educational resources, which are teaching tools and lesson plans that bring climate studies into mainstream education. So we have teaching resources, which you call teaching tools and lesson plans. And shortly, you will know what is the difference, what are teaching tools and what are lesson plans. And we have made an effort to integrate those resources, or those climate resources, integrated with whatever your daily subjects are, like history, geography, earth sciences, biological sciences, mathematics. So we have integrated climate examples into these subjects so that you are able to teach climate change while you are teaching your own subject. Okay. Integrating climate change with core curriculum of high school and undergraduate college syllabi across the world. So now it's not just about high school and undergraduate. It can be about, it can be for any grade level, and we are already working, started working on primary school resources as well, but especially focused towards high school and undergraduate college syllabi across the world. And idea is not to make climate change education a standalone topic. We don't want to make it a separate subject. Like, okay, a teacher says that I want to teach climate change, and then a principal offers, oh, then should we increase one more subject for the children? No, not at all. What we want to do is bring climate change examples, bring climate examples into your daily topics, into topics of history, geography, biology, maths. And how can you do that? Well, we are going to see that. Okay, so our platform, TROP ICSU, has more than 800 free educational resources for teachers to integrate climate education across 10 disciplines with the use of teaching tools and lesson plans. And all these resources are reviewed by more than 50 climate experts. So these are not just resources which are written and submitted by educators or teachers, or rather we have written them. They are being reviewed by climate experts in the field. For examples, who do you call an expert? You can call an expert a subject expert. You yourself can be a specific subject expert, and you are going to review lesson plans written by others. So you become the reviewers as well. of these resources. And that is how this project is run by the people, for the people, and of the people as well. Okay. And more than 50 climate experts by 1,000 teachers from 11 different countries. Okay. So what do we do? So we are making quality climate change education accessible to all, provide free teaching tools and lesson plans as educational resources through our project, and provide teacher training workshops globally. So obviously, we can't just stop at like developing a platform on the internet and just making it open. We have to also train teachers to make them aware of how to use it, because until and unless we tell them how to use it, it's not going to be usable, or it is not going to be used by anyone until unless we train teachers how to use it. Okay. And that is why we are here for. Okay. So using TROP ICSU free educational resources, what can teachers do? They can teach different disciplines through climate related examples. You can use teaching resources mapped to different curriculum topics, and use teaching, okay, sorry. Use teaching resources mapped to climate themes. And now when we say interactive pedagogy or digital pedagogy, what do you understand by digital pedagogy? Yeah, you understand that you need internet access, you need a machine to just access a resource and then to teach it. But it's also about making education more interactive so that learners who are the endpoint, like educator is the medium towards conveying knowledge, but who's the endpoint? It's the students. And students should learn enthusiastically. And for that, what we are going to do, make the learning more interactive. So what we are going to do, how are we going to make learning more interactive? Through the use of digital teaching tools like classroom lab activities, some model simulators, visualizations, or videos, and even some video games that they can play and still learn at the same time. Okay. And also use teaching resources which are available in several different languages and from different locations as well. Okay, let's move on to our content. So we have 10 disciplines which are covered under TROP ICSU, which are biology, chemistry, earth sciences, environmental sciences, economics, geography, humanities, mathematics and statistics, physics, and social sciences. These are the 10 main disciplines that we cover. Okay, so now within a discipline, there is a term called as key topics. Okay, so what are key topics? Key topics are basically overarching research areas in a discipline. Okay, so for example, you are a teacher in biology and you want to teach the chapter on biodiversity, or you want to teach a chapter in ecosystem, or maybe photosynthesis. You want to teach photosynthesis in biology. So we have resources categorized under these key topics. Okay, so you don't have to like search through the entire discipline to look for your relevant teaching resource. You can just scroll through these topics and see what do you want to teach as a teacher in the classroom. Do you want to teach conservation? Do you want to teach migration? Do you want to teach human health, genetics? And you can just click one key topic and you can look for a resource or a teaching resource, a lesson plan or a teaching tool related to that topic only, so that you reduce your efforts towards finding a resource. Okay, and these key topics we have come up with as a team through whatever limited experience we have listed these key topics, and there may be more key topics in every discipline apart from these, but these are standard ones which we have listed here. Okay, now coming to some lesson plan examples in biological sciences, because we are going through the biology as a discipline, we have lesson plans on climate change and risk of new pandemics. We have experienced the pandemic recently. Then insect pollination in a warming world, evolutionary adaptations to climate change, photosynthetic pathways and physiological responses to climate change, natural selection and climate change, impact of climate change on photosynthesis. So these are all biology related lesson plans or resources that we have. and many more. Okay, and coming to teaching tools, now I told you that teaching tools have to be interactive. So when you are teaching through a digital medium, there will be teaching modules, classroom lab activities, videos or games. So there's a video which is of gene editing in tomato plants, or a video micro lecture of global warming and sleep deprivation. There are some readings which tell you about climate change and ecosystem, pandemics in the changing world, and many more teaching tool examples as well. Okay, now, are there any mathematics teachers here? Just raise your hands. Okay, first biology teachers. We didn't do the raise of hands. Biology teachers. Okay, there's one. Okay. Mathematics and statistics. Anybody? Okay, there are two. So, ma'am, you have key topics in mathematics that are covered here under our project are algebra, calculus, differentiation, integration, probability, confidence intervals. So these are the key topics in mathematics and statistics. And these are the lesson plans where these are more relevant towards undergraduate students, but also high school students to some extent, where we have lesson plans on trigonometry and sea level rise, which is one important lesson plan for the location of Kerala because nearer to the sea. So trigonometry and sea level rise, then teaching application of derivatives using Arctic sea ice data, and lesson plan on teaching integration using world petroleum consumption data, and many more. So this is a lesson plan on mathematics. So basically, this will tell you how a lesson plan. Can we go back? Yeah. So this is how a lesson plan is usually structured. So I'll tell you what a lesson plan is. So a lesson plan is basically a conglomeration of multiple teaching tools where there's an overview of, so you can see this overview, okay, overview tab where it will tell you about what the lesson plan is, okay? And then these are the learning outcomes of what the students will be able to learn from this lesson plan. And just to tell you, this is a teacher contributed lesson plan by so and so teachers from a school in Pune, which is called 𝗤𝗂𝗃𝗍 School. So these teachers have come together and developed this lesson plan. And now it is published on our website. Okay. So this is the overview of the lesson plan, which tells you about who the lesson plan is targeted to, like primary school teachers, high school teachers, undergraduates, and what the lesson plan is about, and then the learning outcomes. Okay, then a lesson plan will usually contain a list of, these are the teaching tools. Like first there'll be a topic introduction, which tells you about what, like gives an introduction about the topic. Then the second resource is a further understanding, which will be integrated with a climate example. So the second resource in the lesson plan will be an integration with climate change. And usually the third resource will be a classroom lab activity, which is meant for hands-on learning for students. So this is usually what a structure of lesson plan is on our website. Okay, so this is how it's structured. So then if you see, this is the step-by-step user guide we just saw. And then we come to questions. So you can use these assignment questions to give them to your students, and they will be able to find answers to these questions using this lesson plan when they go through this lesson plan. Okay. And then we do have a few additional resources as well. So we will see what lesson plans are in detail when we do the platform walkthrough of our website. Okay. Okay, then these are some teaching tool examples in mathematics. I'll just go forward through this. And we have a few social sciences teachers here. Hands up, social sciences. Okay, so we have key topics such as sociology, Marxism, capitalism, demography, archaeology, cultural studies, political science, public policy, war, psychology, and many more. And then these are the lesson plan examples in social sciences, like climate change impacts on mental health, poverty and climate change. Why do our brains ignore climate change? Our brains are wired to ignore climate change. And why is it? Why is that so? Then capitalism and climate change and many more. Okay, then these are the teaching tool examples in social sciences, ranging from the role of social sciences, culture, politics, and climate change, introduction to gender and climate change, climate psychiatry, and many more. Then we have a few humanities teacher as well. So humanities teachers can use resources for history, philosophy, mythology, human rights, storytelling, poetry, and gender, communication, music, hip hop. Even hip hop is one of the interesting tools that are coming up. Okay, then these are the lesson plans in humanities. One interesting lesson plan that we have is teaching climate change through rap music. Okay, how so for the new generation to make them to make an interactive lesson plan, this can be used like climate change through rap. Okay, or listening comprehension, a talk by climate activist Greta Thunberg. So basically, we are referring to a speech given by Greta Thunberg, and we are learning listening comprehension. Okay, so this is a lesson plan in humanities, and these are some teaching tool examples as well. Yeah, so these are our main disciplines. Okay, now we come to climate topics. So if you want to teach a separate course in climate change, you have 23 different climate topics listed under the project, through which you can teach your own climate change course. So which are these climate topics? It can be introduction to climate change, climate and the atmosphere, climate and the biosphere, climate economics, climate and the anthroposphere, or climate variability record, climate stories, climate solutions. Okay. So there we also have a climate topic known as climate change impacts in your country. And the interesting thing about this climate topic is that we have one lesson plan for climate impacts in the country for every country of the world. Okay, so there these are just examples like climate change impacts in Uganda, Germany, Peru, Egypt, Colombia. But we have for every country in the world, we do have one lesson plan. So that's what makes our project global also. Like any teacher from any country in the world can start with this lesson plan and give an introduction of how climate change is impacting their own country. Okay. And then we do have climate stories from every country of the world where recent climate events happening around the country are like the new news from different countries is listed in those climate stories. So the project TROP ICSU also aligns with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And we have listed, so we do have, so our project basically comes under goal 4, which is quality education, and goal 13, climate action. But apart from that, we do have resources for all the 17 sustainable development goals, which are mentioned by the United Nations. Okay, these are the 17 SDGs. And we do have resources, individual resources for every SDG that is mentioned here. Okay, so TROP ICSU resources come in different languages. So at least that is one ambition or aim that we have, or we look forward to do that. We look forward to translate our resources into these many languages, including Malayalam. But for right now, we just have 1 or 2 lesson plans which are done as a proof of concept, and that is how we spread this word. Like now we are in Kerala and we are working with teachers who are predominantly comfortable with Malayalam language, right? So if you can help us develop resources in Malayalam, that is going to help us, because that is how we are going to reach the populations in Kerala more and more, and increase the penetration in climate awareness. So that is how we have various different languages and resources in different languages as proof of concept right now. Ultimately, now this project is for the teachers and by the teachers and of the teachers. So it is a project that even the eventual goal of the project is that it is run by the teachers themselves. Okay, now eventually you become the master trainers of this workshop, and you train your own then populations, like including teachers, more teachers and students as well. So we have conducted teacher training workshops like this in more than 11 countries now. Yeah, more than 11 countries. And we have had more than 30 workshops now. This has to be now updated. And we have trained more than 1,000 teachers through these workshops and we do have like more than 60 lesson plans on our website, which are contributed just by the teachers who have attended these workshops. So these are some of the photographs of the workshops that we had previously done in different countries. And our partners, these are our partners, list of partners. So basically, Project TROP ICSU is the birth child of International Union of Biological Sciences. And now it is currently hosted in Flame University. And these are our other partners as well. Okay, we do have a few lesson plans which are introductory lesson plans. So if you don't know anything about climate change, you have a page on our website which is your introduction to climate change. And in that we have introductory lesson plans for primary school teachers, then a lesson plan for middle school. So these are some resources for middle school teachers. And even high school introductory lesson plans for high school and undergraduates as well. Okay, so I will stop here as an introduction of the project, and I'm going to now hand over to Sanjana for a quick introduction, like a basic understanding of what climate change is, but through a scientific lens. Okay, so let's hear what she has to say.